have the family band Cain on with us. Hey, guys. And they have just added a few new members to the Cain family band. Who do we have as new members now?
My daughter's name is River, and she is 7 months old.
I have a baby boy, Cal. He's a few days away from being 3 months old. And then I have a baby girl, Stevie, and she's 2 months old.
That is crazy. Like, I guess being so close, you guys finish each other's sentences, you harmonize perfectly, but this is a little ridiculous.
It's real weird.
Well, like, it's one of those things. Did you decide to just get this all over now? And, like, y'all are young, and so, you know, you're touring? Because it doesn't seem like it would be ideal to start 3 families on the road.
It started a little bit like, oh, no, I'm having a baby. And so I called Taylor and she says, oh no, I'm having a baby.
Well, I already had my daughter on our spring tour, and I guess I'm fortunate that I married someone who was not on an artist timeline. So it was very kind of, she was just like, hey, I want to have kids and I'd like to start soon. And she's been awesome. I mean, I get no points for bragging on her here. She really has been an incredible wife and mom through it all. And so we just sort of we're like, we're gonna do this even if the family doesn't, or if the timeline doesn't permit. And then
it really was like God's plan. Like, I don't think even if we would have said, okay, 1, 2, 3, go, I think the way that like God timed all this out.
I follow you, all 3 of you, on Instagram, and I have seen where you're taking the babies on tour with you. You're taking them on the bus. I mean, it's difficult enough to raise a child in a home that is stable, but one that's on wheels has to be pretty difficult. So not that I'm talking like a trailer, I'm referring to a tour bus. So tell me what it's like having babies on a tour bus.
I anticipated that it would be like you described, that it would be, you know, Jim Gaffigan says, pretend you're drowning and then someone hands you a baby.
4 kids. If you want to know what it's like to have a 4th, just imagine you're drowning and then someone hands you a baby.
I was imagining that it would be like, pretend touring's hard and you're mentally unhealthy and then someone hands you a baby or whatever. But truthfully, it has turned into like the perfect, like, active sound machine. So everybody has a sound machine and a crib and a bus running. So they sleep better on the road than they do at home, which is kind of a funny
Should we brag for a second?
Okay, let's do a little brag.
So my son has been sleeping 11 hours straight.
And how old is he? A couple months? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's a miracle.
You know how good kids do in car seats? Now imagine that's their bed.
Right now, there are moms hearing this that are like, how much does a tour bus cost? Because it's worth it. We'll sell the house. Let's just get through of these. We need this now.
Well, and also, too, I mean, the names like River, Stevie, Callaway, those are so unique. And
almost like golf terms. Callaway is golf.
Well,
you hit one in the river.
Stevie reminded me of Stevie Nicks. And then River, I was thinking River Phoenix. So
Hey.
what is the story behind the 3 names, and did y'all come together and agree on them, or was it like, no, I'm going to do my own thing?
I love that. I think almost like how we get a lot of credit for wearing matching clothes now. That wasn't some stroke of genius at the beginning. We just couldn't find anything that looked good together. So it's like, everybody wear blue. Stop talking about it. But I knew, I mean, it was the Holy Spirit, I think, just because I went from, I don't know if I'll have kids, to I want to have a daughter and I want her name to be River. And I think that we didn't communicate it, but I'm just so obsessed with her and the idea of her as a river. I've just been speaking these things over her since before she was born, because a river to me, like, it brings life wherever it goes and it flows over any obstacle. And so I just, that's, you know, my story for her. But
That's beautiful. It's also another analogy is drowning in college debt.
I feel like God had to change my Grinchy Grinch heart. I thought that there was something missing in me, because I was just like, I don't know if I want to have kids. And anytime I was like around a baby, I was like, and it turns out I'm pregnant. And so I'm like, okay, I'm looking through baby name stuff. I just like, I couldn't feel myself getting into it. This is kind of vulnerable for me to say, but Logan had River. And that was the first baby that I was like, I could just feel my heart. And then I was holding her, and then Cal kicked in my stomach, and it was like, oh, I'm going to be okay. And now I'm Obsessed with this child. I just all the time I'm just holding him and I just can't believe what I would have missed out on if God hadn't have done something in my life. Yeah, Stevie, that's awesome.
Yeah.
She's like, we looked up a baby name book. We couldn't come up with a name, Stevie. All right, so here we go. We're going to do something called Who in the Band, okay? And this is the baby version of Who in the Band. And you guys can come up. You know what, Logan? We'll have you answer, and then ladies, you can debate his answer, which you would do anyway. So who in the band has the easiest baby on board the bus?
I think Callaway. He
agree.
sleeps about 22 hours a day.
Okay, who in the band baby has the worst diapers?
River.
She's got that grown
She's
baby
eating
poop.
solid food now, and it's not just corn, guys. There's so much stuff that survives.
Oh, that's great. Who in the band moves on stage like they still have a baby on their hip?
What the? Come on.
And finally, who in the band has the cutest baby? Logan, what do you think?
Easy answer. River James.
No,
The
no.
cutest baby. Hands down. Well, they're all smiling now, and so
Well, and I think it's cool too that there are 2 girls and 1 boy, just like y'all. So if, let's say in the future, they all 3 come together and they're like, hey, we're cousins, we want to be in a band. What would you say to them?
get a job. No, I'm kidding. I would say I'm projecting here, but this is true. And you guys said it. You saw me the few times I had to do this alone. I'd say if you're going to do it together, because it is a hard world out there my hat goes off to all the solo artists out there. I'm so thankful we get to do this together, but I hope they get to. I mean, it's so special. And
That's going to be fun when we have our midlife crisis because our kids are way better than us.
Like people, they call and they just want the kids, and we're just like, "Oh, are you sure you don't want to hear Rise Up?" And they-